FM. If you spend 40 quid on an electric kettle, you'll get a 50-page user guide telling you how to do everything with the kettle, from pouring water in the spout and plugging the kettle into the wall. And yet if you spend 40 million on a building or a facility, more often than not you'll end up with box loads of unorganised paper. This is what a building owner generally gets on project handover, and we'd ask if that's accessible. Is it easy to search? Is it accurate? Or is it up to date? When you consider that it costs 5 to 6 times more to operate and maintain a building than it does to build the project in the first place, you can begin to see the importance of proper handover documentation. When we speak to facilities managers at project handover, we're not surprised to learn in a lot of cases that they've never been consulted at the early stage on the project, and that we believe can lead to a lot of trouble and headache. It's all very well collecting a lot of information during the course of the project, but if the information we're collecting is not delivered to the client and to the FM team in a form that he can use and plug into his own FM system or use it in a user-friendly way, then it's not much good in the first place. So how do we go about doing that? We believe information is an asset. It's almost as important an asset as the plant and equipment in the building. Without good information, you can't operate and maintain your building in a proper and efficient way. What we're striving to do in all cases is to collect information during the whole construction phase of a project, to turn it from a disconnected selection of PDF files into a centralized, accessible storage system. We work on the basis of one data set, or one building, one data set, and try to ensure that information collected once is then used and reused during the course of design, construction, and finally into handover. So at the end of the day, if the building owner wants to operate or view the information through a 3D model, he's able to zone into or zoom in onto the section he's interested in this case a CCTV camera, select the camera with a single mouse click, then go straight to the safety file where he'll find all the information he needs to operate and maintain that piece of equipment. Using the same technology, we're able to use QR codes to impart fairly quick information. A QR code is different to your standard 1D barcode. It doesn't need a back-end database or other mechanism to store information. You can store static information straight into the QR code itself. So using something like a smartphone and a free app available on all smartphones, you could, for example, put a small QR code tag on the base corner of a wall that allows the painter to scan the QR code, find the RAL colour of the paint on the wall and the supplier without having to go and paint the entire wall because he doesn't know the exact shade of paint that's on the wall. We're doing the same for existing information, so we're able to take existing building files, and there's lots of them about at the moment, and convert them into a digital asset. If the building owner wants to be able to connect them up to a building model, there's the ability to use point cloud and scanners to take a point cloud definition of the building and then connect that up to the model. Essentially what we're doing in all cases is providing the building owner with a full manual containing every document and every piece of information he needs or should need to operate and maintain his building properly. It includes a full asset register, a list of all the warranties and maintenance requirements within the building, and it's available both online and offline on CD or DVD or on the client's local area network. In doing that and collecting the information, we're also collecting information relative to maintenance, from everything from the roof in the building, the external cladding, through to the mechanical electrical services, all tabulated and stored in a searchable database that allows the client at any point, or the FM team at any point in time, to be able to go back into the system and find out what frequency of maintenance they need to apply to various different elements of the building. And drilling down deeper into that, they can see exactly what they need to do to clean the roof or service and maintain the air handling unit within the building. Greg mentioned earlier all of the new phrases and terminology that's coming out at the moment in the market. I'm not going to go into every one of these. We've a stand just across the way. If anyone wants to go through individual definitions or anything like that, I'd be more than happy to do that. But one of the areas that I just wanted to concentrate and spend a few minutes on is COBE. We're coming up against COBE as a delivery mechanism on lots of current and new projects. COBE is an exchange format. It was designed by a guy called Bill East in the US Army Corps about 10 years ago, designed to exchange information between the constructors of a building and the FM team of a building, and primarily designed to handle managed assets. So it's an exchange format, but unfortunately at the moment we see it in many cases being used as a delivery mechanism, and people are expecting to be able to take a COBE spreadsheet and use it as they would even a paper-based system or a digital system. In many cases it's probably easier to find information in a paper-based system than it is in a COBE spreadsheet. To do a true handover in COBE format or using the COBE family, you can see on the screen there another 8 or 10 different formats that are needed to take all of the information needed on the job out into the system. So, as I said, that's what the client gets on delivery if it's a COBE format. What we're trying to do is deliver it to them in a much more user-friendly way, using a user-friendly interface, all of the information organised by system or by element or package on the job, all of the documents relative to each package available in a single list, filtered or can be filtered by the category of information that you're looking for. The full search engine in the system, so you can put in a keyword or a number of keywords to find the information you're looking for, and then as soon as you find the information, double click on it and it opens up in the internal viewer within the system itself. The system contains a complete asset register with a CRM for all the suppliers and manufacturers on the job. Using that asset register, we're able to maintain a full list of warranties. So when we deliver a safety file, the client or the FM team now have a full table and schedule of all the warranties on the job and when they're about to expire, so they can then pay attention to particular items of plant or equipment that need attention before warranties may expire. It also includes a full detail of the maintenance requirements on the job, and that's everything from weekly maintenance, daily maintenance, right the way through. And using that, we're able to produce a maintenance matrix. Lifecycle asset management is also included in the system, and by including information such as the replacement cost, the expected life of a piece of equipment, clients are able to produce 25-year expenditure forecast, capital expenditure forecasts, so like creating sinking funds or finding out how much they need to spend over the next 10 to 15 years on a project. The digital safety file system is as good as it is in terms of delivering information, but from an FM point of view, if we can connect, and we have, the digital safety file to a maintenance application, the client or the FM team are then able to take that information that's handed over using our own maintenance application or using their own individual system and work off that, creating work orders on the fly and putting them onto a calendar and expanding the whole thing. But in all cases, it's the same information that's being used right throughout the whole project. There's no rekeying of information or re-entry of information or verifying of information. In terms of the life cycle system we mentioned earlier, One of the things that we've implemented is a NAMS approach. It's a National Asset Management System approach, where you can assess a piece of equipment based on a visual inspection, and plugging that into a NAMS condition grade analysis curve, you're able to forecast additional remaining life potentially on an equipment that's been well maintained. Some of the clients and projects we've worked on include the likes of Google, Oracle, Yahoo, and some of the clients or companies that we've worked with include all of the major players in construction industry. So that's as much as I have to say. If you have any questions or queries, I think we're up against time, so if any questions or queries, we've got a stand just outside.